Let's look at this set. A large cube of side 4 units is formed using 64 unit cubes, each of which is painted red on all its faces. After forming the large cube, all the faces of large cube are painted blue. Okay. If it is 64 unit cubes and 64 unit cubes, it means the larger cube, the largest cube that you have, it has side of 4 units. Okay. Each of which is painted red on all its faces. Right now, all the small cubes are red on all its faces. After forming the large cube, all the faces of the large cube are painted blue. Okay, which means all the exposed surfaces, all the surfaces that are visible, they are painted blue. The large cube is then disassembled into unit cubes. The large cube is then disassembled into unit cubes. And then, now for these unit cubes, you can see you will have 8 smaller cubes, all the ones at the corner. 8 cubes will have 3 sides blue. Also, the cubes on the edges will have exactly 2 sides painted blue. On one edge, you will find 2 such cubes, and there are 12 such edges. So 24 cubes will be there that have 2 sides blue. Now, on a face, when we remove the cubes on the edges, and the corners, we are left with a 2 by 2 matrix. And they will have exactly one side painted blue. And there are 6 faces. So 2 by 2, 4, and 6 faces. So 6 into 4, 24 cubes will be there, which will have one side painted blue. And finally, out of 64, 8, 24, 24, 56 cubes have been taken care of. 8 cubes will be there that have 0 sides painted blue, or this will be all red. Okay. This is what we have. Then the large cube is disassembled into unit cubes. This is the distribution of the unit cubes. One cube of side 2 units is formed using these unit cubes such that the maximum possible visible area of the cube is blue. Now, in order to create these smaller cubes, the cubes that we will prefer are these cubes, 3 sides painted blue. We will have a cube like this getting created. Three side painted blue, 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 blue. Similarly here, blue, blue. The other side, which is not visible in the diagram, there, all the 8 cubes will be placed together, and you will have an entire 2 by 2 cube of side 2 with the entire visible area being blue in order to fulfill this instruction. With the remaining unit cubes, 56 cubes are left. With the remaining unit cubes, a cube of side 3 units is formed such that the maximum possible visible area of the cube is blue. Now, when you're creating a cube of side 3 units, my diagramming skills are not very great, so please forgive if the diagram is not pretty. It will be functional, hopefully. Now, when we are creating this large 3 by 3 cubes, the cubes that we will prefer are going to be the 24 cubes that have 2 sides painted blue. And how will we fit them? First, for the 8 corners, I will have this side is blue, this side is blue, and this would have to be red because only 2 sides are painted blue. The external exposed sides, I'll put these 2 as blue, this will be red. So for every corner, out of these 24, 8 will be used up in corners. 2-sided blue cubes, two blue-sided cubes, 8 used in corners. 8 will be used in corners. Here also, let's say this is blue, this is blue. This side which is not visible, this will be red, and so on. So 8 will be used in corners. Now the next set of cubes that we focus on are the edges. Look at this. You have two exposed faces. You have two exposed faces. I can happily have both of them as blue. So on every edge like this, I can have two blue-sided cube and on the 8 corners. So 8 used in corners and 12 used on edges. There are 12 edges. 12 used on edges. And now all the cubes are on the cubes on the edges are taken care of. The only cubes that will not have been assigned so far are these ones. The center of the face, or if I can draw a diagram like this. Achha, I can't draw a diagram like this. It has to be a 3D figure and I can't draw a 3D figure. The one face available on the one cube visible on every face, these ones, and the one in absolute center, those cubes are not yet assigned. Now, the one in absolute center, it can be red, blue, doesn't matter, because the one in absolute center will not be visible. And we are only concerned with the maximum possible visible area. So the center one can be blue, can be red, I don't care, whatever cube gets used up there. But the ones that are used up here, the ones that are used up, 6 cubes on 6 faces. They can either be one blue-sided or two blue-sided. They can either be one blue-sided or two blue-sided. And the one in the center could be any. The one in the center could be any. Now, for this 3 by 3 by 3 cube, the number of faces that will be visible as blue. See, on one face, you will have 9 small cubes visible. You will have 9 small cubes visible. On the corners, you will have one red, one red, one red, one red, one red. 8 faces. Sorry, 8 surfaces out of 9 into 6. Out of 54 parts, because one face has 9 small parts. One face has 9 small parts. 8 parts will definitely be red. The rest, 46 parts, will be blue. Okay, this is how the 3 by 3 by 3 cube will get created. The last line in the instruction, the remaining unit cubes are referred to as unutilized cubes. Now, for the unutilized cubes, it would depend on, see, for the smaller cube, 2 by 2 by 2, we know precisely which cubes are to be used. For the corner, we know precisely which cubes are to be used. For the edges, we know precisely which cubes are to be used. But here, the one side face, the one side that is exposed, we don't know if it is one-sided blue or two-sided blue. And for the center, we don't know if it is blue or red. Any of the cubes, whichever is remaining, that can be used. Let us get to individual questions now. In the cube of side 3 units, what is the maximum possible number of unit cubes which have at least 2 faces painted blue? Okay, wonderful. See, 8 were used up here, 16 were used up here, and there were only 24 two sides being blue unit cubes available. 20 have been used up here. The remaining 4 also I will use up here. In one blue-sided, I have 6 cubes on 6 faces. I will use up the remaining 4 here. And therefore, the maximum possible number of unit cubes which have at least 2 faces painted blue is 24. All 24 of them can be used up here. Wonderful. Next, what is the minimum number of unutilized cubes which have exactly one face painted blue? Now, if I'm looking for cubes which have exactly one face painted blue and I want to reduce their count, then I will utilize them here. 6 cubes on 6 faces. 6 will get used up here. And I will also utilize it at the center. 6 will get used up here. 1 will get used up here. And there were 24 of them initially. Out of 24, 6 plus 1, 7 are gone. So minimum number of unutilized cubes which have exactly one face painted blue will be 17. Next, this comes from 24 minus 6 minus 1. Next, in a cube of side 3 units, what is the maximum number of unit cubes which are painted red on all its faces? Now, if I need cubes which are painted red on all its faces, they cannot come at corners, they cannot come on edges, they also cannot come on faces, they cannot come at these highlighted portions. The only place where you can have a cube which is painted red on all faces is at the center. And therefore, the maximum number of unit cubes which are painted red on all faces is 1. Now, the last question. If another cube of side 2 units is formed using some of the unutilized cubes, what is the maximum number of faces of this cube that are completely blue? Okay. Now, if I want maximum number of faces of this cube that are completely blue, I am now creating a third cube of side 2 units. First, my attempt would be to keep the cubes, smaller cubes. I can't draw a diagram for my life. This is too curved. Here, my decision about certain things will change. Here, if I wanted maximum number of faces of this, if I want blue to be displayed here most, here the 6 cubes on 6 faces that I'm displaying, I will only use up one blue-sided cubes here. Here I will use up only one blue-sided cubes. So now I have four cubes left that are painted blue on also that are painted blue on two sides. So where would I put them? I would put them, let's say here. This is blue, this is blue, this is red. I would put them here. This is blue, this is red, and this side would be blue. Similarly, I would put this is blue, this is blue, this is red, and this side is blue. And I would put this is red, and this is blue. So right now see, the top face is completely blue. The top face is completely blue. And the face at the back and the face at the front, both of them already have red. Both of them already have red. Now, if I have to introduce a new cube which has some sort of blue, at best what I can do is have a one side blue cube. So what I'll do is I'll put this as blue. So this side here will be red and this bottom here will also be red. Similarly, one side blue cube I will put here. This bottom will be red and this side will be red. Similarly, on this side, I will put one face cube blue. So the front would be red and the bottom would be red, blue, and bottom will be red. Similarly, on that bottom corner, the one that is not visible, let's say it will be here somewhere, no? Here somewhere, when this comes down and everything. At that corner also, I'll put down a cube which has one face painted blue. Now see, the faces that will be blue will be the top face, will be the face on the right, and also the face on the left. There will be three faces that are completely blue, and there will be three faces that are completely red. And therefore, answer for the final question, if another cube of side 2 units is formed using some of the unutilized cubes, what is the maximum number of faces of this cube that are completely blue? There are going to be a maximum of 3 such cubes, no more. And that is the entirety of the set. The challenge with this set, or for any cube cutting set working, is always that this is a 2D surface on which we are drawing diagrams, and you have to imagine working in a 3D space. So you need to improve upon your imagination And you also need, as in, this is a skill that also helps in geometry when it comes to solids and surface area and everything. But for cubes cutting especially, you need to imagine how breakage would happen, how sides would appear. You need to put yourself in that space. It is a skill that you need to practice. That will be all for this side.